going on, everyone? My name is Jamon McKinney, or you can just call me Juice, because that is my nickname. 49ers fans, I have to have a very hard discussion with you guys right now. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, I do not think that they are going to win a Super Bowl. Now, I understand that the roster is still very good. I think the offensive line is one of the best in football. Jimmy Garoppolo could take another step this year. You got some very good running backs. Kyle Shanahan is a very good, young, creative head coach. The defense should be very, very good once again, even though you did lose DeForest Buckner. You replace him with Javon Kinlaw. And I look at the 49ers overall roster. It's one of the most talented rosters in the entire NFL. Okay, so I think the 49ers window is still open. But if I were to project going forward, I don't think the 49ers are going to win a Super Bowl as long as Jimmy Garoppolo is their quarterback. I just don't see it. I really don't. And there's two reasons. Number one, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy to get you over the hump. And number two, I think the division is eventually going to catch up to the 49ers. Okay, and let's go over the first reason, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I was higher on Jimmy Garoppolo than most people were. Heading into this past season. That is why in the offseason of last year, I picked the 49ers to win this division. But this year, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Seattle is going to win this division. But we saw in the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo, in the biggest moments, not perform. He did not get it done. I did a Super Bowl film analysis video breaking down how the 49ers lost that game. And honestly, Jimmy Garoppolo, he deserves a lot of blame for that loss. Jimmy Garoppolo had a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl, and he coughed it up. He could not get it done. He missed several throws. He made several key mistakes. He threw 2 interceptions. He missed a wide open Emmanuel Sanders in the fourth quarter. If he were to complete that pass, that game is a totally different game, probably. So, look, I just don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is good enough to win you a Super Bowl. I just don't. And at times in that game, Kyle Shanahan looked like he did not trust Jimmy Garoppolo. He took the ball out of Jimmy Garoppolo's hands at times, and the minute Jimmy Garoppolo had to put up or shut up and win you guys that Super Bowl, he couldn't get it done. Now, I understand that Jimmy Garoppolo was in his first year as a starter. There is potential that he could get better, but I think I'm going to compare Jimmy Garoppolo to Jared Goff. Jared Goff, another guy that I was higher on the most until this past season. Let's look at Jared Goff. Jared Goff obviously did not have a great rookie season. He bounced back in his second and third season with Sean McVay being the head coach. In his third season, he got the Rams to a Super Bowl. But we saw Jared Goff versus an elite defense in the Patriots. When he faced that Patriots secondary, he couldn't get it done. And I think that Jared Goff, honestly, at his best, is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. The reason why I think that is because when Jared Goff got the Rams to the Super Bowl, he outplayed Drew Brees in the Superdome. And they were winning that year for the most part because Jared Goff was playing MVP level football. If you look at the 2017 season, the first 12 games of that season, Jared Goff was playing like an MVP candidate. I can't say the same thing for Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo did not show MVP flashes this past year outside of a couple games. I did not see the sample size that I saw from Jared Goff playing at an MVP level. And I don't think the Rams are going to win a Super Bowl going forward because I think the division has caught to them. I think that Sean McVay, he has not made an adjustment to the NFL as far as the head coach. And ultimately, I don't think Jared Goff is all that special as a thrower. I see the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a great deep ball thrower. He makes too many mistakes at times. And when everything is on a silver platter for you, when Kyle Shanahan is drawing up all these creative plays, yes, you're going to look good. But are you going to be more than the system? At times, Jimmy Garoppolo does not look like he can be more than the system. So we'll see what Jimmy Garoppolo brings to the table, but I don't see it. And as good as the 49ers were this past year, let me ask you guys this question. Were they a better team? than the 15-1 Carolina Panthers that lost in the Super Bowl to the Denver Broncos when Cam Newton was playing MVP football? Were they a better team than that Panthers team? I don't think so. And guess what? That Panthers team, after they went to the Super Bowl, they went into the tank. Just saying. What was this 49ers team better than the Philadelphia Eagles, who went 13-3 and won the Super Bowl versus the Patriots with a backup quarterback named Nick Foles? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think that Philadelphia Eagles team was absolutely stacked. As good as this 49ers team was this past year, I don't think they were the Philadelphia Eagles of that year. And I thought that Eagles team could be the next dynasty. And that didn't happen. Was this 49ers team better than any of the two teams that Russell Wilson got to a Super Bowl recently? I don't think so. So I look at some of these teams that have won Super Bowls and have gotten there that have been really, really good. I think that the last 10 years or so, the last 5 to 7, 8 years, I would say that that Eagles team, that Panthers team, and Russell Wilson Seattle Seahawks, those were the three best Super Bowl teams that won Super Bowls or got to Super Bowls the last couple years. So the 49ers are not better than that 49ers team that made the Super Bowl. They're not better than those teams. So it's not looking good for the 49ers. And listen, winning is hard. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, they both have one Super Bowl apiece. Dan Marino, one of the 10 best quarterbacks of all time, 0 Super Bowls. And when I look at this division going forward, I think that the division is eventually going to catch up to the 49ers. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have never had a losing season together. And Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, they are building something special. I firmly believe that Kyler Murray is going to take off this year. And in about 2 to 3 seasons, Kyler Murray is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I can make the argument that's already the case with Kyler Murray. So as Arizona kind of continues to build around Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray can reach elite quarterback status one day. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be any better than maybe a top 10 quarterback. Kyler Murray could be a top 5 quarterback. I just made an episode not too long ago saying that Kyler Murray can be better than Lamar Jackson. I believe that. So, look, good luck 49ers, and I'm sorry, I hate to have this harsh conversation with you guys, but I think you missed your opportunity. If you can move off of Jimmy Garoppolo and maybe get an elite quarterback, then yeah, maybe this team can win. But going forward, I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo elevating this team enough to get them to a Super Bowl. And honestly, the supporting cast is still good around Jimmy Garoppolo, but as time goes on, I don't think the supporting cast will be quite as good as it was this past year around Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything kind of went right for the 49ers last year, and you didn't win the Super Bowl. So, if I had to project, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I think their window is open still, but in reality, on the low, it's kind of closed because I don't believe Jimmy Garoppolo will win the 49ers a Super Bowl within the near future. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.